Okay, the goal of this video is to help you think about how to write programs that use range functions in them. And so the basic idea for this is pretend we have an assignment that says you've got to write this function, super duper deluxe repeater, and the function takes two arguments, a string and a number. So for example, if I say cherry 11, then what we want to have happen is your program is going to print 1-cherry, 2-cherry, all the way up to 11-cherry, right? And similarly, if it scrolls, come on, there we go. If you run super deluxe repeater on pair and the number 2, then it should print 1-pair, 2-pair. There we go. Okay, so that's our goal. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of talk and think out loud and try and give you an idea of what somebody might think about, the steps an experienced programmer might kind of think about and go through in their head. And what I'm going to ask you to do is every time I write a piece of code, before I test it, I want you to think about what it's going to do. So pause the video for a minute and think about what it's going to do. Then watch me test it. Then pause the video again, go away, write it on your own without peeking to make sure you can do that piece, and then come back again. Okay? So if I'm trying to write something like this, 1-cherry, 2-cherry, 3-cherry and stuff, let's start with an easier problem just to make sure that we kind of remember how to use lists and the range function and stuff. So first, I want to try and just write the numbers from 0 to 9, but I want to write them each on a line by themselves, not on one big long line. So to get from 0 to 9, obviously I'm going to have to use the range function. And range 10 gives me 0 to 9, so I don't have to do any complicated stuff. So what happens if I just say def count to 10, and I say print range 10. Okay? So pause the video for a second, think about what would this do. Okay, well, let me load it. And let's run it. Huh. Okay, well, that's obviously no good. I wanted to get each one on a line, but pause the video now again, start up JES, and actually write this code on your own without peeking. And then you can keep going. All right? So what I want to do is get each number on its own line. So the range 10 part was good, but I guess I need to use a for loop. So what if I write something like this? Def count to 10 again, and I'll write for number in range 10, print number. Okay, I'm going to load my program, pause for a minute, think about what you think it's going to do. All right, let's run it. Count to 10 again. Huh, okay. Yep, that looks great. Okay, cool. Pause the video, go write this function on your own without peeking. Okay? All right, so now I've got the numbers from 0 to 9, but what was I trying to do? I was trying to start with 1, not with 0. Okay, I guess I can do that a few ways. One way would be to do a fancy range function, I guess, right? Because if I wanted to write something like just, I don't know, def count 1 to 10, I could maybe do, well, just for a one-liner, I could do print range 1, 11, right? Okay. And let's just run that. Of course, you've just paused because you're guessing what happens before I do it, right? Okay, cool. So that's got the numbers from 1 to 10. And so I suppose I could do that, but I like the idea of using a loop. And when I did the count to 10 again function, I counted from 0 to 9. But all I really need to do is add 1 to each of these things before I before I do this, right? So one way I could do this is I could of course just have my loop and say for number in range 1, 11, and then I could print number, right? That would give it to us if we load that. I'm going to stop telling you this, but whenever I load, please pause and think about what you think is going to happen before I do it. And then after I run it, go away and write it and then come back. Count 1 to 10. So now, yep, look at that. I think it's 1 to 10, each one on their own line. Yep, that looks good. Okay, cool. But actually, another way to do this would be to count from 0 to 10. So let's do, let me count this, copy this code here, and I'm going to paste it here, right? So I'm going to call this count 1 to 10 again. And this code printed the numbers 0 to 9, right? This code that I have right here. But if I say instead of printing number, print number plus 1. So if we try this now, let's see, load the program. I think instead of printing 0 to 9, let's do count 1 to 10 again. Yep, looks good. 1 to 10 on a line by itself. So there's a couple different ways you can do this, and neither way is better. It really is fine to do it either way, right? We say number 0, but print number plus 1. That's fine. Okay, so let's see. Another way I could have written this, if I wanted to write it a little bit more clearly, if this count to 10 again seems a little bit confusing to you, is I might have written something like this. So let's count 1 to 10. I'll call this one count 1 to 10 yet again, and I'll just throw in another variable. So maybe I'll say thing to print is number plus 1, and then I'll print thing to print. Let me load this. And again, exactly the same code as the code above, right? So if I run count 1 to 10 yet again, same thing, right? Trust me, it starts at 1. There you go. Okay? All right, cool. So let's see, where were we? What was the original problem? We wanted to print between 1 and any number, right? So I guess I need to write a function that counts up to any number. How do I know what number they want? Suppose I have to put that in an argument, right? So, okay, I guess I want to do the following. Okay, so let's see. So def count 1 to any number, and I'll take in here and I'll call this top number as an argument maybe, and I'll say for number in range top number, and I will print number plus 1. Oop. Okay, so let me load and look at this for a moment. There's actually a problem in here, but the compiler won't find it, or when we load it, it won't find the problem. But if I run count 1 to any number, you may want to pause, see if you can see the problem. Let's say it's 5. It gives me an error and it says name not found globally. Let's scroll up a teeny bit more so we know what name. The error was top number. So on this line, see, reading these comments really help. It says the error was top number, couldn't find top number. Oh, check it out, I misspelled it. It was a typo. So let me click there and do top number instead. Load again. Yes, please. And try it again. And now it works great. I ran 1 to 5. Print it counted from 1 to 5. Good. And if we test it again, and this time we count to 15, and we look around, yeah, 1 to 15. Cool. Okay, so that works. Now, we want to print the numbers with a string. If I just wanted to print them with the word like hello or something, that would be easy, right? So I could like, let's just say I want to print, you know, I don't know, count to any number, we'll call this with hello. I could just print my number plus 1 and then the word hello, right? Load. Yeah. And if I run count 1 to any number with hello on 23, there we go. That's pretty good. But of course we don't want it to be with hello, right? We want it to be with some string that they give me. So let me write another method with, we'll call this count 1 to 10 with string. We'll have top number, and then we'll also have maybe word or phrase. We won't print hello anymore. We're going to print word or phrase here. So let's load. And let's try this one. Count 1 to any number with string. My top number is going to be 14, and the word or phrase I'm going to write is CS is cool. Huh. Pretty good. Okay, and I guess, what else did we have to do? Oh, we had to put a dash, right? So let me put a dash in. So I'll just add a dash here. I want to add a dash, right? So let's do that, and let's load. Huh! Error on line 32. So now we got to look on here. It doesn't really give it. It says invalid syntax, so that means we've probably done something wrong. Oh yeah, look, I forgot a comma. Okay. So now let's load it. All right, and let's run it again. Huh. I think we're good. Okay, so the last step is always to just look and say, did I do exactly what this thing said to do? Go back and look at the assignment. And, you know, it's looking pretty good. I got my number dash string, right? Oh, but we got to call it super duper deluxe repeater. And it takes the string first and then the number as the argument. So let's just write that and then we'll be done. So let's see, we got to write def super duper deluxe repeater, and it takes the word or phrase as the first argument and top number as the second, and then the rest of the code is the same. For number in range, top number, print number plus 1, and then our dash, and then our word or phrase. So let's load. Yep. And let's run super duper deluxe repeater. My word or phrase is going to be yay Python. And I'm going to write it 3 times so we can see the whole thing on the screen. Woohoo! It works. Great. So now what you need to do is go away and try and write this super duper deluxe repeater function from scratch without peeking. Have fun.